everybody to the Engaging Networks conference. While I'm doing that, we're Molly Kelly. I'm not Molly Kelly. That's Molly Kelly, and I'm Carly Samuelson. And we're really excited to be here with you today. Molly, does my screen look good?
I think so.
You're seeing my PowerPoint, right? Hi, everyone.
Well, I'm on backstage, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, hopefully everybody else is seeing our PowerPoint, and you'll let me know if you're not. But hi, everyone. My name is Carly Samuelson. I am with Zuri Group. I am a fundraising strategist and consultant with the team. Molly, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi. Kelly, I'm Vice President of Digital with Zuri Group, and we are proud to be Engaging Networks partners. We've been partners for several years. There's always something new to learn. They're always putting out new technology and presenting us with new challenges and also new ways to solve problems. So I've been participating in this conference for about 4 years. I've also had a chance to go to London and participate in the London conference. And Toronto and participate in the Toronto conference. So it's always a good time. Even here now as we're on Hopin, it's still a good time. It's still great to see everybody. We've had some recently, obviously with COVID, in helping some of our clients that are on the Engaging Networks platform succeed using the tools that they already have, using their Engaging Networks in new ways. And so Carly's here to kind of talk about one of those case studies.
Yes, thanks, Molly. Let's dive right in. So for those of you who don't know, there is an organization called the Lutheran Social Services of Minnesota. Shout out to Kyle if he is sitting on today's presentation. And Zuri Group was lucky enough to work with Lutheran Social Services of Minnesota on their spectacular $1 million event in Engaging Networks. So let's meet them for a second. Lutheran Social Services is a local nonprofit in Minnesota that serves the community with a variety of faith-based programs. Obviously, just like most of us in today's environment, when the pandemic started, it brought a huge need to their organization to raise funds and to continue support the neighbors helping neighbors concept that they love so much within their organization. And as you can see from this slide, all of their programs that they do are very worthy, and all of the people who need it are very worthy. And they're lucky to have it funded by a community of very, very generous givers. This year was going to be a little different. The Celebration for Changing Lives is an annual event that Lutheran Social Services of Minnesota has put out. Previously, obviously, just like most events, it was an annual gala that was held in person. And since Lutheran Social Services of Minnesota's community is so active and committed, and really they like each other. So they had previously used the Celebration for Changing Lives as that in-person opportunity to come together. And this year, because of the pandemic and because of COVID, that wasn't possible. But because of the great work that they serve or that they do, and the funds that they raise are really, really needed in their community right now, they wanted to come together for such a time like this, which is what the whole theme of their event was. And they wanted to meet their donors where they currently are, which I'm sure if you haven't heard, words out, they're online, they're doing digital, they're reading, they're active in the digital world. So they wanted to do something that they could bring their very, very friendly constituent group together.
They're on their couch.
They came to Zuri Group.
They're on their couch.
Exactly. They're on their couch watching from their computer.
On a Saturday night? Yeah.
Yeah, on a Saturday night. Yes, they sure are. So we had a discussion with Lutheran Social Services about where they could host this event. And you'll see right at the top, in full transparency, they were considering a third party software option because it had the functionality that they thought that they needed. When they spoke to us at Zuri Group, we were really quick to give them the confidence that they were going to be able to host their event completely in the Engaging Networks platform, and that they were going to be able to do it really well. So we sort of talked with them about why add more expenses to your budget and to this celebration during this time when the answer exists right in the service that you currently pay for, which was Engaging Networks. And so we worked with them to identify the key things that they wanted to see in their website and made sure that the Zuri Group Lutheran Social Services Minnesota website had all of those. Some of those things you can see here. They wanted the ability to host a live video. They wanted a progress thermometer just to show real-time totals, just like a lot of you do when you host your events. They wanted a page roll up, which, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, I'll show you in a second. But basically, what this means was they wanted to have an environment where they can have groups of people come together and have their own website. That is how we use the peer-to-peer tool. And they wanted their givers to be able to give right on those team pages, but they also wanted it to roll up to the overall total. And that's exactly what Engaging Networks is set up to do. And so with that ability, with putting it that way together, their pages all rolled up into one large total that was on the main page. And then obviously, like most people do, they wanted in a donor role and they wanted to show it in real time. And once again, Engaging Networks has that functionality already built into the peer-to-peer tool. So it was there. We just had to pull it together and make it a successful event. I know you're itching to see what the site looked like, but I would not be a good fundraising strategist if I did not first talk about all of the great things that Lutheran Social Services did while we were building their virtual event venue, which is what I was calling. They tied fundraising strategy very, very well together with the technical functionality of their website. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that that was a big part of what their success was. So here you'll see how hard their team worked on some of the strategies that we all as fundraisers and nonprofit leaders know and love. First and foremost, their e-communication was spectacular. They segmented their lists into tiers based on their donors' previous interactions with the organization and then communicated to them in that way. So it was a very, very robust e-communication strategy that we worked on together using our background with previous virtual events and then their obvious knowledge of using their Engaging Networks system very, very well. The other thing that I point out, again, as a fundraising strategist, I love when I see certain things in e-communication. So you'll notice that it was personalized. It was to me. There was multimedia. I could interact with their emails. And then most importantly, but what I didn't show on this screen was that they had a very, very intricate but easy to understand instruction segment in their emails that explained what their users were going to see, or their donors were going to see when they reached the environment. They also provide giving matches, which as a fundraising strategist, I'm a huge proponent of, but obviously they leveraged their giving community to provide match opportunities. And actually I attended the event. I was a first-time donor, and one of the matches was if a first-time donor gives any amount of money, they had a match to make it $250. So because I was a first-time donor, I felt really good knowing that my donation, which wasn't $250, became that because of the match. It was really fun. They also did a ton of advanced stewardship using their boots on the ground staff, is what I called. I shouted out to Kyle from Lutheran Social Services. His team worked day and night to secure giving. They worked for the 6 weeks prior to the event to make sure that their major gift prospects and their really, really excited constituents were going to be there. They controlled the giving, which meant that they started you off when you entered the venue at a low level, and they steadily added offline donations throughout the night to get them through their total. They used engagement during a virtual chat. And then last but not least, they were all hands on deck. So on the night of the event, they had one of their staff managers managing the chat. They had another one working behind the scenes with Molly and I if there was a technology glitch. They had everybody, and then their fundraising staff was actually in the venue interacting and seeing their donors, meeting them. It was great. Sorry if I'm speeding up. I notice I'm very long-winded, and I notice I can talk forever, but we're running out of time. I want to show you this website. So here it is, the virtual event venue created on the Engaging Networks platform. Obviously, as you see, when you first and foremost, when you get onto the page, the video screen was there. They had a virtual reception for the first 45 minutes, I believe, just like you saw this morning. And what I loved about what they did was very similar to this morning with what Engaging Networks did for us. They brought people through the experience with a series of slides. And it was really great to see. So I got there, I knew that I was in the right place. The chat feature was go in and move in, which I'll show you in a second. And it was a really, really welcoming environment. Also, obviously, they had the event donation status right first and foremost. When you entered the venue on that night, it was actually 200 or so donors. But by the time we left that evening, obviously, you can see the total was way over $1 million. Some other things they did on their page were obviously using the real-time donor scroll that is already in Engaging Networks and there for you to use. And they popped it up as in a place of, I guess, importance so that you could see who was donating. Also, another game changer was the ability to have the donation form right on the page. And I don't know, Molly, if you remember, but I do, when we showed them that, they screamed in excitement. So they weren't going to have to, their donors were not going to have to link away from the event venue page to make their donation. They could do it right there. And they also wanted some customizable options like the ability to put in text for a matching gift. And then on the next screen, they really wanted to have an area where they could do blogs for gala updates. And so we helped them get to that. The customizable blog, again, was something that they managed. It's outside of the realm of what Engaging Networks has, but why I really loved this was because this edition really tied everything back to what was going to happen in the gala. All the messages on here in the weeks leading up were either talking about giving or what they were going to see or how excited they were to be there. And I thought this was a great added benefit to their event. It made people really welcomed into their space. Two more features, which I've mentioned, but now we'll show it to you. The peer-to-peer tables became gala tables. Really awesome concept for this. And I was so happy to see that this could come to life in the Engaging Networks platform, because when we think peer-to-peer fundraising, we think that traditional run, walk, ride, or we think a traditional head shaving event. But in this time of the pandemic, to create a peer-to-peer page that becomes an actual welcome venue for a gala is an innovative and outstanding use of the tool. You'll notice on the actual individual table pages, there is the same live stream that was seen on the main page, which was great. You could watch the event right from your table page, or you could watch it from the main screen. It was personalized for that table group. So let's say it was a church group or a neighbor group that was coming together. They had their own table. It showed the table's donation amount. So it showed how much the table was giving, and then it showed the total. It all rolled up. And then here's on the last, the chat feature, which was actually run by YouTube. But again, kudos to the team of LSSMN. They had a very engaging chat. People were very excited to talk to each other. And they had a staff member who was pre-armed with questions and trivia and just things to keep the audience talking throughout the entire time. And they really did. And it was really good. So we're almost out. Molly, 2 minutes. Anything to add that I missed? You get the final word before we close it up.
Just that LSSMN chose to strictly use it as a gala experience. Their program was pre-recorded, most of it. Other organizations have chosen to do live portions, so go live in that event and actually ask for donations right there that night live with an auctioneer and watch that number tick up live, which is awesome. Also, when you're using the peer-to-peer model, you can even extend this to an actual peer-to-peer where maybe you have table captains who have their own pages and they're actually out there getting people to come to the gala as well. The options are kind of all up there. There's a lot you can do. Just, join us in the session afterwards. We can answer some questions and, you have the tools to be successful. That's it.
Love it. It's right there. So thanks, Molly, and thanks to everyone. I know we got to flip it over, but we're really excited to be joining you this week. And please, please remember that I know times are tough and we are all dealing with the pandemic and everything else that's going on, but you're sitting in front of a very, very powerful fundraising and marketing execution tool with Engaging Networks. And so you've got it all you've got it all in your hands. And the next thing to do is put it to great use. We can't wait to see you in the chat, and I'll hand it over.